I will be talking about two main things in this video. First, netizens' opinion about how Minji has influenced the girls into doing all this, and other, what's going to be the future of Newjeans after this live stream. When I made that video about not trusting Minji with minors, a lot of people tried to gaslight me into thinking maybe she isn't as bad as everyone says, or that I'm just influenced by Twitter. I even thought about deleting the video at one point. But now I'm even more convinced I was right about not trusting her. Netizens are straight out calling. It's so weird how obsessed and devoted girls are to her. They're writing letters, calling her in the middle of the night, crying, and all that. Of course, hybe isn't innocent either. They've pushed these girls so much emotionally that they're taking extreme steps. Now, they might even end up locking these girls away. This user wrote, "Yup, what we can all agree with is that practically this is self-sabotage on Newjeans' part. It's one thing to raise issues of mistreatment, but another to demand your former CEO back, especially given her dismissal was due to a ton of other factors." Exactly. Haerin has serious allegations against her, like covering up a sexual harassment case involving a former employee. She's been accused of abusing her power, bullying in the workplace, and trying to protect her harasser. I've covered this case twice on my channel. I'll link the video if you want to check it out. It looks so manipulated. How many times did the girls mention Haerin in just a half hour live? They repeatedly compared her to the current CEO and made it clear they don't trust the new one, believing only Haerin is the savior of the group. It's a clear manipulation tactic. These girls seem to have made it their religion that Haerin is the only one who truly cares about them. And from the start, she positioned herself as this mother figure to the girls. It's so bizarre how focused they are on saving Minji's career. They seem more obsessed with making sure MHJ is seen positively than with their own futures. I can't help but feel like she's got them and their parents manipulated. It's like she's convinced them they're nothing without her and that she's their only protector. Okay, let's believe for a moment that girls are not manipulated. Then the reason of this live stream is mistreatment, right? That the big thing. Girls don't feel safe under hybe. Their management is shitty. They don't care about them since beloved Minji left. In this case, girls should have asked for better work environment and all the alleged bullying to be stopped, not asking for hybe to bring her back as CEO. Another user pointed out that while I criticize hybe, it's Newjeans themselves who are using their mistreatment as a reason to bring Minji back. Let me be blunt, I absolutely hate hybe for trying to get revenge on the girls through bullying and mistreatment. The stuff the girls mentioned in their stream seems like it's coming from Haerin or others at ADOR. They even demanded that both management and creative teams come back as they were before. But if you think about it, this demand seems more like what Haerin would want, not the girls. At the end of the day, ADOR is a company that needs to protect itself. Separating the two sides was a smart move by hybe to prevent someone like Minji from trying to take over ADOR out of greed. The girls should have focused on how they feel unsafe, mistreated, and how management isn't cooperating. They should have pushed for a better work environment. And of course, there's been drama with deleted content and creative differences with the current team and hybe not understanding their vision. These are valid concerns and should be the focus, but demanding Minji's return and merging the two entities wasn't the right move. As everyone is talking about what's going to be the future of the group after this, they have given a deadline by end of September. They could end up suing for contract termination, honestly, which is not a good step. We already have witnessed with 50-50 how hard it is without a solid proof. Girls mentioned in the streams they have some evidence but can't share because they are still under a contract. The other strategy might be to get sued by hybe for breach of contract and defamation instead of trying to terminate the contract. They still have to face hefty fines and a lot of legal trouble, but it might be easier than trying to get out of the contract without strong evidence of misconduct. But I can't see hybe letting them go without some serious conditions. Considering how tough it is to get out of idol contracts, things are not looking good for Newjeans. If they do get sued, they might end up paying a huge amount and be in legal trouble, or some sort of settlement like paying fines, losing their identity as Newjeans and music catalogs. They won't be able to perform their songs or signing some sort of non-compete agreement as they tried to do the same with Minji. Conditions like they can't sign with a new label or work as a group, or they can't work with former employees of ADOR. They'd also likely have to sign an NDA to avoid bad-mouthing the company, with fees coming due immediately if they break it. Hybe is in a position of power not just as a company, but also legally they are a step ahead. As much as I hate how the group's videos and pictures from training time got leaked, allegedly by Hybe, and then used by Dispatch, without solid evidence, these are just claims. Speaking of bullying, netizens are making it clear that the girls are coming off as spoiled kids, upset over something trivial, like someone not saying hi to them. Even though We Stand With Newjeans is trending on Twitter, people aren't really feeling this move. It's only making them look bad. You can check the comments on my previous video to see all kinds of opinions being thrown around. And honestly, with the girls claiming they made the decision for the stream by mutual agreement, it's hard to believe they aren't being influenced by people around them. I'm putting the blame on the adults here, not the girls. Whether it's their parents, Hyejin, or other staff, it feels like they're making the girls carry the load while they're the ones pulling the strings behind the scenes. If they think their fan base, bunnies, is their main leverage to get Hybe to agree to their demands, let me be real. I've seen so many SM lawsuits over the years, and nothing ever really comes of it. Sure, it'll trend on Twitter for a bit, but then it dies down. Let's not forget that Newjeans is still pretty new to the industry. Even though they've had some success, their position isn't as solid as those using them might think. I also want to address the bunnies who are asking why everyone's attacking Newjeans for speaking out. You got to understand, no one's mad at them for speaking out against bullying. That's something people support. The issue is with their unrealistic demands and wanting their former CEO back. From what I've seen on Korean forums, netizens are actually backing the girls for standing up against the bullying. People can relate to that. I've seen comments saying that stuff like this happens all the time in Korea. And honestly, it's not just a Korea thing. People in other places can relate too. During a feud like this corporate drama between Hybe and Minji, where the girls are constantly siding with her, people might have got mad. It's the internal politics, friendships and biases coming into play, with staff taking sides and ignoring each other. This kind of stuff happens in companies, among co-workers, and even in schools. When people take sides, it gets messy. Things aren't going to just snap back to normal. It takes time for things to settle and for the girls to connect with new staff and figure out how they're going to work together. People are also saying the girls should have waited a bit longer. They couldn't even stay at ADOR for more than 15 days after Hyejin was dismissed, with the news dropping on August 27th. It just makes the girls look like they're difficult to work with. I'm not trying to say they shouldn't have talked about bullying or the bad work environment. That's important. I'm just saying their demands aren't right, and they've ended up digging a hole for themselves. I stand with Newjeans, not Hybe or Minji.